Town's #1 rock station, Z159 FM.
Right.
Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Ooh, yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
this music out of the way. Welcome back, everybody. All right, let me get my smooth jazz out of the way here. And hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me at all? No? Yes?
Yeah.
Troy,
you.
Troy, you got me? All right, and then we're going to put you on this guy.
Okay.
Make sure you're about an inch off of it when you talk. So, and you can move it. You can't really like break it or anything. Like you can just move it till you're comfortable, and then I'll set your camera.
All right, so is that good right there?
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
perfect, actually. I like his branding. I need to look tougher as a dad and not. I look weak.
Yeah,
When a big specimen comes in here and I'm as little as I am, I'm like, oh my god.
Well, you went towards like a Noah's Ark.
I did. I went from like a sad
a
soothsayer, a small soothsayer,
Yeah.
Nostradamus. Predictions. All right, here we go. That is good. That looks good. All right, Mr. Van. It's a live Weird Job. I got the Weird Job song. It is aggressive, but I think you'll like it.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch. Come hang out. Our YouTube numbers are doing pretty good. Brand new content on there and lots of really funny videos, all at youtube.com/@TomandDanLive.
Oh, I can't wait till our YouTube blows up and then I'll be out of here.
It's not going to. Newsflash. It's not going to happen.
Like, be out of where? Like, how
Yeah.
like, where are you gonna go?
We just
like,
literally-
This is what's on YouTube. Like, nah, I'm out of here.
I'm going to an island. An island. Islands will get you into trouble.
we have to keep doing content. Nah,
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm done.
So our Battle Business Beer Fest
Yes.
and Sofa and Suds are coming up on November 22nd, 23rd, weekend before Thanksgiving. We have free beer fest, tons of food trucks. We got tons of our sponsors coming out,
It's the only beer
giving out
fest.
free plants.
Only free beer fest in the existence of beer fests. It is the only one that happens. There are a few smaller, older, like 100-year-old ones in Europe.
Can we get the hot squad out?
You're going to have to come up off your wallet if you want the hot squad.
I think we can get the hot squad.
Okay, should we do it? All right. So
all right.
I wrote a custom Weird Job Wednesday theme song for our guest. We are doing another Weird Job Wednesday. This particular guest for Weird Job owns his own hot sauce company. It happens to be a slightly horny hot sauce company. At least that's the way I kind of have framed it. So I made a horny hot sauce song.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey, look! There he is!
Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. It's this one. That's a different one. That's a different one. That was a different one. It's this one. It's this one.
You know I keep it spicy. You know I keep it hot. If you wanna be with me, I need some hot sauce on that twat.
No.
Hey, hot sauce, make that pussy be the boss. Pop it up high, pop it down low, make my pocket pepper blow. Hot sauce, make that pussy be the boss. Pop it up high, pop it down low, make my pocket pepper blow. We got Mad Hombre up in this motherfucker.
Whoa! Mad Hombre up in there.
Yeah, that's catchy.
Yeah, make my pocket pepper blow. I wrote that.
Yeah, I like it.
Make my pocket pepper blow. I wrote
You
that.
shouldn't be so proud.
I'm so proud of this is because other people use AI to do their songs. They sound like garbage. When I do an AI song, everyone's like, oh, that's a good AI song.
Sorry, Troy. Troy's here from Mad Hombre Hot Sauce. How you doing, Troy?
Good, guys. Good. Pleasure to be here.
Good to see you, man. He's got a good voice, better than ours.
Yeah, you should be doing this.
Hey, guys, glad to be here. I brought the hot squad.
You got the hot squad.
I'm what you think you are, but you're not.
As I'm looking at Mad Hombre's Instagram, and I'm looking at you, Troy, and you're ripped, and you got the hot squad
Yeah,
around,
he's
and
got
I'm like,
muscle cars and
this is-
vehicles and trucks and like hot ladies.
this is what I want to be.
He did say that. Before you even showed up, Tom goes, well, hold on. And he's like, we're getting set. And you've listened to the show, so you know when we get set, it's like we're both
yeah.
bumbling idiots. We bumble in our own way. So I hear him over there, and I hear the papers, and I hear, and then he goes, oh, what's a hot squad? Oh, I want to do what this guy's doing.
Yeah. I'm just sitting in our dumpy office in Baldwin, drinking
There's still trash in the corner of the room. Did you see that? I should have taken that out.
black mildew in my ice again.
That's true. He was drinking mildew before you got here.
Anyway, so how you doing, Troy?
Good.
Okay, so let's talk about the hot sauce business. How did you start Mad Hombre Hot Sauce?
So our origin story is actually pretty unique. So I grew up like you in Miami, Florida.
No, you're growing up. Where in Miami?
Yeah, so back then, I grew up in Miami in the 70s and 80s, It was unincorporated Dade County, which was North Dade. Now it's called Miami Gardens. So it was kind of lower. It was a lower middle class area. We kind of butted right up to the area called Carroll City, which was a pretty bad area. And so my dad.
That's where all the good football players come from.
Yeah. So
Miami Killian played Carroll City. We're gonna lose.
Yep. So my dad was an engineer by trade, and he was also his hobbies were big game hunting, deep sea fishing, and spearfishing. And so he was constantly going to the Cayman Islands for these spearfishing expeditions, and he was also like a hot foods fiend, right? So
that's what my dad said too.
Yeah.
I need to go by the Cayman Islands for some spear fishing.
Yeah. So
spear some square grouper.
So
and put the money in the Cayman Islands accounts.
Yeah. So my dad could eat hot food like you couldn't believe. Like he would sit there and eat habanero peppers like potato chips. Like,
okay.
And back then you couldn't really find commercially available like really crazy hot sauces. You'd have to either make it yourself or find some specialty person to make it for you.
Yeah, habanero. Kids don't know how good they have it now. If you like spicy foods, and my daughter does, she's like me, and she's getting spicier. But like she thinks that like a habanero to her is just like, common, habanero this. I'm like, no. When I was a little kid, like you barely got jalapeno.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like, and somebody bringing out hot sauce, like if a friend brought hot sauce out, it was a very exotic thing. Oh, where have you been? Taiwan? Where have you been?
Yeah. Well, that's like
the Middle East.
That's why like the hot sauce shop in St. Augustine was like a tourist attraction in the 90s because they're like, whoa, a store of all hot sauces. Like these are before the internet. Like you go to the grocery store, and even the grocery store had a small selection of like Tabasco, and then maybe
Do you remember hot sauce as a kid? Like, did you have one that? Yeah, we weren't like that was more me. Like my dad, not so much a spicy foods person. My mom, not so much a spicy foods person. But going back to what you were saying about
there
your
wasn't
dad,
a lot available. You had like Tabasco and Texas Pete and all that. So
how's your dad getting the peppers? Is he bringing them?
Well,
back?
so what happened? That was the story, right? So he goes over. It was like 1980. He goes over to the Cayman Islands. He comes across this homemade hot sauce at like a little fish market. After they got done spearfishing, and he said this stuff was so ungodly hot, but it tasted good. Yeah. Like normally when you get really hot, you lose flavor. He said this stuff tasted good. So he tried to buy it from them. They wouldn't sell it. They're like, no, it's just for people to use here at the on your food, on the fish at the market. He pulls out a $100 bill and says, I want some of this sauce. And they couldn't run fast enough to find a container to put it in, right?
Yeah.
So they find this old wine bottle. They put it in it.
And I want your feet.
Yeah. Now you're my slave. I own you and your family.
So he brings this hot sauce back. And I remember as a kid, like he uncorked this bottle of hot sauce and it was like somebody sprayed tear gas in the room. Like it was that freaking hot.
Yeah.
And so he reversed, because he's an engineer, he reverse engineers the sauce to figure out what did they use to make it, how'd they make it. And he figured out that the two main peppers that they used in it, which were the Scotch bonnet pepper, which is a Caribbean island pepper, at that time was found only in the Caribbean.
Now it's like Matooks. Like why?
Yeah, exactly. Matooks,
this
right?
dude almost went to the hospital because of Matooks. I'm not even supposed to tell that story, but I mean TMI. But you were at one point you were going through a bottle a week.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And it's a thick boy. Matooks is thick. You can slather it on, man. It's not like a dipping sauce. Oh my god.
Yeah. So there was the Scotch bonnet pepper, and that's where the flavor from the sauce came from. And then the other pepper they used was one called the Red Caribbean Habanero. At that time in 1980, that was the hottest pepper in the world. That was the hottest one they knew about. It was in the Guinness Book of World Records as the hottest pepper.
Is that our current or what?
No.
Know?
The peppers that you see nowadays are all hybrids of the habanero. The hottest one for years was the Carolina Reaper, and that is a mix between a ghost pepper and a habanero.
Not to be confused with John Reap, the pedophile comic. Allegedly. Allegedly. It's got to be fleshed out.
So he comes back, he reverse engineers it, then figures out like, hey, I can't find these peppers anywhere, right? So now he starts taking trips back to the Cayman Islands and filling his suitcase full of peppers and pepper seeds, and he's smuggling them back. And I say smuggling because you can't bring produce back from another country. And this is right in the middle of the whole Cocaine Cowboys thing, right, in the 1980s. So he's smuggling suitcases full of peppers back alongside.
Oh, my God, he's the habanero bandolero.
Yeah. So we start growing the peppers in our backyard in Miami, and he's making these hot sauces, but they're so hot, like that he's the only one that can eat them. It's like a joke. It's like a running joke. Like he's the only one that can eat these sauces, and he brings it with him everywhere. Like brings it to work. We go to a restaurant. He puts it out on the table. And normally it's always the same thing. Somebody's like, hey, what is that? Oh, it's my homemade hot sauce. Oh, can I try it? And he'll always warn them, say, it's pretty hot. Oh, I can take hot. And then they, the server, the manager, whoever comes back, gets a spoonful of it, and they run off choking and gagging and like cussing him, right?
Yeah.
And so growing up, I loved hot sauce, but I could not eat his hot sauce because it was just too dang hot, right? So fast forward to the future. When I was a kid, like I literally wanted to be a pro football player. You couldn't convince me that that's not what I was going to do. Like that was my passion. I didn't care about anything else. And then I ended up eventually, I played football up in West Virginia for a year, got hurt, came down. I was going to walk on at UCF. The coach was kind of screwing me around on a scholarship, so I ended up playing rugby.
Were you like a slot receiver?
No, I was a linebacker. I used to be 240 pounds. So
okay.
this is the slim version of me.
Gotcha.
Like, I used to be like big and bulky.
Okay.
And then I kind of realized at a certain point, like big and bulky doesn't really look attractive to the ladies, so they like ripped, right?
Yeah.
So
what
then
is
I went
small and weak? What is that message? What is that message? Small, weak, old.
Hold on, let me write that down. They liked ripped.
They like.
I never knew.
They like.
Now that I know.
Yeah, they like the ripped and the ab look. So that's kind of what and I wanted to be in really good shape, and I ate super healthy, right? So I kind of, once I got done playing football, I didn't need to be as heavy anymore, and I kind of just worried, about my health and all that. And so that was the thing that always got aggravated me when I would look at these, condiments and sauces and food in general and see all the horrible ingredients that they were putting in these foods, right? And like you can't find condiments now. You go into Publix or Whole Foods, look, and they're all putting corn syrup in there instead of sugar. Like it's one thing to have sugar in an ingredient, but now they're putting corn syrup in everything.
Well, it's so cheap, Troy.
Yeah.
Well, also not the bastardized one we already mentioned, but one of the reasons why we stopped eating Matooks is if you go Google that.
Artificial color,
Yeah,
artificial
run through
flavor.
Matooks and read what's in there that you
I know,
should
believe me,
not
I
be
know
eating.
what all the other hot sauce companies
it's
use.
bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And
listen, if I'm Texas Pete and I'm sitting there and my, some underling comes up to me like, hey, Mr. Pete, we can use real organic ingredients or corn syrup that causes cancer, but it's 10 times cheaper. I'm like, you're fired. Get out of here. Of course, corn syrup.
Yeah, well, it's also funny too because Texas
Use
Pete
the
was
cheapest.
Texas Pete, one of the first sauces to blow my daughter's myth of going only local hot sauce.
Yeah.
Which why my daughter loves your hot sauce is because Texas Pete is made in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a Carolina product.
Yep.
So it's weird that it's called Texas Pete. Maisie hates that. So we're Mad Hombre.
Yeah. So all that ends up happening. I lived in Oviedo for a while. I lived in Winter Park for a while. I got sick of like the traffic. I ended up buying some land out in St. Cloud. This is 20 years ago. And I start growing everything that you can grow, like that would grow in our growing zone in Florida. I'm growing mangoes and passion fruits. I grow grapes. So me and my wife make our own wine. Like we grow everything, and of course peppers too, right? So I start making my own sauces, and I would, I'd take my sauces. We go to a dinner party. I'd bring some sauce with me. And my wife, she worked at a hospital. She'd bring them in, put them in the break room. And I always got the same feedback, which was, how come you're not in Whole Foods? How come you're not in Publix? How come you're not like in, I'm like, look, this is just a passion. I like making it. I like giving it away as gifts. But it was enough of that repetitive, like people kept pushing me like, man, this stuff is good. You have really good ingredients. You got to start a business. Right? So about 5 years ago, my wife pushed me to start a hot sauce company.
I'm glad that your wife is supportive of you, Troy, because
We don't know what that's like.
If I brought my own hot sauce, she'd like, quit bringing that everywhere we go. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, what do you think my wife's idea of the boiled peanut is? Wash your boiled peanut. I guess I've been boiling peanuts.
Yeah.
Get your junk and wash it and get it out of my goddamn garage. You little hillbilly, you're weak.
Yeah. So we made the decision to start the company. And I didn't realize, once when you're starting a business and all that, now we had to get licensed. We can't make it in our house anymore. It's got to be done at like a commercial facility. There was all this kind of like red tape we had to bounce and jump through to do it because now you're owning a food business.
Yeah,
you're going to pay the damn Sunbiz? God.
Yeah, well, no,
we still haven't done that.
Yeah.
What does that go to?
Yeah, ours has been delinquent since like 2019. Like right when the pandemic hit, our business license, we're like, we don't care.
Stupid Sunbiz.
Yeah, so we right in the middle of starting the business, COVID hits, right?
Yeah.
And like it was like, oh, everybody we know people that own restaurants and stuff. They're like, don't start this business. This is uncertain future and all that. I'm like, look, I'm like a bat out of hell. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, we're starting the company. I go, I'll sell online. I don't care.
Just
like,
lies. This has got the ivermectin in it.
Yeah.
It's got everything. It's got the horse tranquilizer. It's got the fertilizers in it.
Yeah. So we end up starting the company. We released it on Black Friday. I think it was 2019. I started with 105 bottles of sauce. We didn't even have we had no social media.
That's brave, man.
We had my wife's Facebook page, right? So we released it on Black Friday, and within an hour sold all 105 bottles of hot
Hell
sauce,
yeah.
right? So I'm like, oh man, maybe we got something. So then we started doing bigger batches. The first thing to open up after COVID was farmers markets. And it was really hard back in the day to get into farmers markets because there were usually wait lists, especially the big ones. And because of COVID, it kind of reset the playing field because a lot of older people that were doing these things didn't want to do them anymore.
Yeah.
And so we were able to slide in.
We
And
lost 66% of the kettle corn cookers we had in Florida died of COVID. That's a stat weird stat I know.
Yeah.
And also the farmer markets is hard too because some of them are pretty expensive to even get in, and you're like,
Exclusivity.
I gotta sell 50 bottles of hot sauce just to break even today. You
Yeah.
know, so like,
Right.
so like it's not free to be involved in these. So like they all charge. So like there is a barrier to entry where it's like if it rains that day, I'm screwed.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. And a lot of times you're out of the money because you have to pay for it ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so the thing for us was when in the farmers markets, you have to be there every week, right? If it's a Saturday market, they won't. You just can't
Consistency.
come whenever you want.
No.
They'll boot you out. So we were committed. So we got into a couple farmers markets, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, other farmers markets are coming to us saying, "Hey, can you do my market? Can you do this?" Now we got events coming to us, and at that point, it was just me, my wife, and my son, who at the time was like a teenager. And so, come to find out, we needed to hire employees. So, my wife, who's very attractive, has attractive family members, sister, cousins, stuff like that. We bring them on; they start working for us. Their friends start seeing like, oh man, this is cool. So what we did was our whole marketing thing was, if you're going to work for us, you're going to be branded head to toe. You're not coming in wearing a Nike ball cap and a Adidas shirt.
Yeah.
For the girls, we bring these little crop tops and sports bras. Guys, you're
little
wearing.
orange shorts. See, with some Hooters out here.
Yeah.
Now you got it, Troy.
Yeah.
We tried to implement this with Sam and Butler, but they quit. I'm like,
How'd you get them not to quit?
Yeah, how'd you get? I'm like, Butler, put your shorts on.
I
He's like,
try to tell my
quit.
wife, I'm like, jack them up, put Tom and Dan in between them, and then she don't listen.
I tried to get my wife to do that move where you cut the top and then you just hang them out of the bottom. And I'm like, right Tom under one bottom and right Dan under the other bottom.
Yeah, they don't do nothing,
It's
Troy.
foolproof.
Yeah. So we start building up employees, and within that first year, we were doing 11 farmers markets a week, all over Central Florida.
That's too much.
I had so
with
it was,
all the hot squad,
that's a
right?
lot of
yeah.
crop
So
tops.
we and funny was that's what they wanted to be called. They're like, oh, what are we're the hot squad, right? And so they wanted the coolest fitness apparel. So we start making this fitness apparel. Really, it was just for them to wear. And then eventually we would have girls would come in the booth. Oh, that's cute. Where did you get it? Can I buy that? And I remember at one point looking at my wife after I heard it like 3 times in one day, like, we're going to start selling the merch. And
Oh yeah, the booty shorts. The money's
love
in the
that.
booty
We should do
shorts.
this for our listeners instead they're big. We'll call them the Slobaneros. Big fat Slobaneros.
Our sales are down. Sorry.
Yeah. So we start the whole hot squad thing. And we're doing every year we're doing like a fitness calendar. The thing is, we're really cool.
You get a fitness calendar?
Well,
I got
Oh, I knew you been. Where'd you get that?
Oh man, wait until we come out with a Slobanero 2026.
I don't think people want to see us and our. Oh, hey.
All right, so that's January. That's my wife.
Holy
Okay,
smokes. Oh, lucky. You are a lucky man.
Yeah.
Well
That's,
done,
sorry.
Troy.
You're awkward. I'm
Yeah,
looking
it
at
is
you.
awkward. I'm looking at his wife on the calendar.
Yeah. And then so you got a whole. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we now the thing is, all the girls that work for us, these are all.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Tanya. So
It certainly is. Oh, my God.
all these girls have other jobs. Like they work full-time jobs. They're all professional jobs. We've got school teachers, nurses, flight attendants. This is like an easy.
You all right over
I
there,
would have
buddy?
guessed that. Those are all the categories I
Yeah, we've got a school teacher, flight attendant, naughty nerds. What do you want? We got them all.
Yeah, so we're a super cool company to work for. We pay them very well for just part-time work, showing up for events. The same girls that work for us also do all our promoting.
Nice.
A lot of them do social media promoting. They're ambassadors to the company. And we treat them very well. We throw like 4 parties a year for like our team. We do like
Oh, we do 2 parties a year. We barely do that.
That's why they quit. Damn it.
Yeah, so
This is awesome,
Yeah, we
man.
do actually. And funny enough, we actually do a big. It's called Mad Hombre's Sexy Halloween Party every year. So
Hey.
I'll make sure I slide you guys a couple of invites.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be better than Seth Petrozelli's old dad fest now. We used to go to Seth's. He used to have a horny party too. And now that's all gone out the window.
Yeah. Now he runs a called Family Karate Gym.
Like, come on down and kick
it's
for
all,
a belt.
It's all family friendly.
I want Hot Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am mudding.
Do you get any pushback from people because, like, what would you say to people that say that this is like? Because I would say it's pretty ballsy to go Hot Squad and go like this style when maybe it's not as popular as it has been in the past.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if there's ebbs and flows of everything,
Sure.
right? Like if you go back, 20 years ago, look at Budweiser, they were, one time a year they're putting out like the Clydesdales and family and this, and then summertime you got the girls and the, Budweiser,
I'll
tea bags.
never forget the Swedish bikini team.
Yeah. And the key is to get your wife to recruit the girls.
So it's less creepy.
Yeah. Then if they find out, hang yourself. I'm joking.
Yeah. So one of the ways, I get asked that all the time. Like, how do you get?
How do you get away with it? Because I know that people. What's funny is I know people enjoy this, but it's not necessarily cool. Like some people will be like, well, I don't know.
Honestly, we don't get a lot of pushback. Like, I mean, I know probably we're probably not gonna get our product into like Disney or whatever, but ultimately, once people meet us, they know we're a family-run business, and all our employees are family too. Like we treat you like family. We've had probably over 30 Hot Squad girls be a part of our business since we started, and every single one of them we're still friends with. They still get invited to the parties. They still keep in contact with us. Even once they move on to other things. So we are a true family business in the sense of family businesses. Like I know of no other family business that does what we do for our employees. But like we just changed the way that we wanted to promote our product, right, and to market it. You
made it funny. There's some funny commercials.
Yeah,
out
we
there.
try to do the funny because I'm married to a Latina, and she's all Latinas are a little bit crazy to one extent or the other. So we kind of capitalize on that in our videos. We'll do the funny gringo Latina videos. And it will incorporate the hot sauce
I've
into
seen
it
those
somehow.
Videos. I've seen all of them. Yeah, stomp on it.
There's a lot on 8th Street, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, 8th Street Latina. Some would say that was the classic cinema. Classic cinema.
But
business question, Tom.
Well, let's get down to the hot sauce business, because it is all in my mind about the marketing of it, and so you have to have the marketing element to even get your hot sauce seen and get attention, because I imagine that without that, then there's probably a lot of other people that make their own hot sauce. You've seen and
how do you differentiate?
And how do you differentiate when there's so much out there? It's like craft beer or something at this point, and
for craft beer it became the label, which is why you started getting a lot of craft beer labels that would be copyright infringement. Because you're seeing because a lot of but with you, I think you were trying to go more the natural and better ingredient route.
Yes, the health aspect of it. And so when we first started the business, what we started doing was promoting athletes, right? So we sponsor. I think we're up to 8 now athletes that we sponsor. And because by doing that gets us into their communities on their social medias to see like, hey, we make the healthiest, hot sauce on planet Earth, and this is what we do. And me as the jefe, the owner of the company, I can't come out looking like a fat slob either, right? I live what I preach. Like I'm eating the sauce, I'm eating healthy, I'm working out, and so that's kind of how we wanted to promote the brand, because all the other brands out there, nobody really was doing that. And so we start sponsoring these athletes. I mean, we've got one guy he's actually Florida's strongest man. His name's Ray Kuna. He's won the Florida Strongman twice. He won the World Strength Games recently, and just 2 weekends ago he won.
Can we talk to Ray Kuna? Florida's strongest man.
Yeah,
and then we'll obviously plug your hot sauce for the hookup. But
he literally and he's like I said, he used our product. He likes it.
It does sound cool. Powered by hot sauce. It does sound cool. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's not. Yeah. That's a little. Your marketing is different. I see what you're. I see what you're doing.
When we first started, we were actually sponsoring a young girl that was a marathon runner, and she has 5 world records in marathon running. At 13 years old, she was the first girl to ever do an extended marathon run from California to New York.
We'd like to talk to her too.
At 13?
At 13, she did it. Now
we'd like to talk to all your athletes.
She's
please.
18 now, so she's 18 now.
Jesus.
Since she broke that record, 2 boys have done it, but she still holds the fastest time. She ran the Boston Marathon last year on her 18th birthday, actually, and in the women's division, she took 4th out of all the marathon runners in the world, right? And her goal is obviously to get in the Olympics for the United States. She lives out in Celebration. Like,
What does she
but
run the marathon in?
I have no.
Don't ask, you'll be
I
sad.
I'm not a runner.
You want to make yourself sad? Yeah, and
I think
not
I
huffing
understand
and
it.
puffing at all.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet 13-year-old lungs, just pushing air so effectively. Right?
And so one of the new marketing things that we tried deploying was where I challenged the fitness athletes to like some sort of challenge in their sport.
That's funny.
So Ray Kuna we did it was about 9 months ago because he was the strongest guy in Florida. I said, all right, let's do a squat competition, but the squat is going to be your body weight on the bar on your back for reps, because that would be the only way I could keep up with him, because he's a huge dude. He's like 270 pounds or whatever. So we did this. We videotaped it. We put it out, and it was blind, so he couldn't see what I was doing. I couldn't see what he was doing. And, I think I had to do 195 for reps, and he did like 275, and he did 31 and I did 30. So he beat me by 1 rep, but he has to pull more weight, so he's pushing more weight than I am.
Yeah.
You
but
might be
relatively-
Tom's favorite person to ever have a product on
so
Weird Job Wednesday,
You're
right?
a hot sauce Tom fan.
Yeah, so-
better version. This is what I wanted to
This is
be.
your guy.
So we've also
Hot squad challenges. It's got everything.
He's doing everything you want. Do you have a four-wheeler?
no, actually I don't, but I know you
Okay.
guys
All
are in
right,
this.
we'll
got a
get you a
Jeep.
four-wheeler. You got a Jeep, though. It's
We
very
got a boat,
simple.
though.
But I want to
yeah.
challenge. So I want to challenge Briar Rose to a 40-yard sprint, like, because she's good at marathon running. But like, okay, let's see what she can do in a sprint, because I know I can sprint pretty good, even though I haven't done it in a while. But so I want to challenge her.
This
to a sprint.
is you. This is
I
hot
want to challenge you to a sprint right now.
We
There's so much testosterone in this room.
The winner wins each other's company.
And pictures of each other's wives.
We'll do pink slips. Yeah. I got pictures on my phone right now. I know you do.
yeah.
We'll show it to us. And then
And never to be seen again.
30 seconds, we'll print it into our memory, and then that's it. All right, sorry, Tori.
No. So we do and then that. We try to do we try to do what everybody else is not doing, right? So nobody else is doing the athlete, nobody's doing these challenges, nobody else is putting these fun. And the thing is, we have an actual identity to the brand, right? It's not just a faceless, company. And the higher you get up in any kind of corporation or business, they lose the identity. There is no. And one company that was really good at that we kind of looked at and we're like, was the Dos Equis most interesting man in the world. That guy was the face of that brand. If you remember when they did those commercials, like the most interesting man in the world videos, they're really funny videos and stuff like that. And I kind of looked at that and I'm like, okay, we can kind of do something similar to that where me, the Mad Hombre Jefe, and it's a fit product, sexy. We've got the sexy, ladies that, work for the company.
But you're living it, Troy. The most interesting, you know what killed me? The most interesting man in the world, like when the internet
Yeah, he's
first
an actor.
It came out, there's here's this actor, his name's Frank. He doesn't even speak Spanish.
Yeah, he was Jewish.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you ruined it. And then when people found out the real most interesting man in the world, just some Jewish actor, you're like, oh, but you're living the dream,
It
Troy.
did make it better when you and I were emailing, and I was like, oh, my daughter loves your hot sauce, which she does. I mean, she absolutely loves this brand of local hot sauce that I urge you guys to go get. But it did make it cooler that you're like, oh yeah, it's me and it's my brand and that's me in the picture. Yeah, it makes it better.
And
that's me in the video.
Yeah, and that's what we want, right? We want the identity. We want you like literally like you're ordering a product. I'm the one like when you place an online order that's leaving you a little note and saying, hey, thank you for supporting our family-run company.
Cool.
Troy the Jefe, Mad Hombre Hot Sauce, right? And so I'm the one, if we do an event, a beer festival, a margarita festival that shows up, I'm the one back there that you're talking to. The girls might be giving you the samples, but I'm talking to you, thanking you for purchasing the product. Thank you for stopping in. So we have an actual identity to our brand, which we do not want to lose, right? We want to keep that identity.
Oh, I like to distance myself from the listeners.
No,
and the
I would-
customer.
Well, once I got it up and running, I mean, next thing you know, I'm sleeping with all the hot squad. My wife she left. It's falling apart.
Yeah.
I forget who's making the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Hot sauce. I forgot about the hot sauce.
I'm just like, just pour the Texas Pete in the bottle. Buy it from Costco.
Just put my label on it.
Just print that label. It'll rip the
And
Texas.
then eventually addiction takes its toll, and then I die. How many different hot sauces do you have now?
We're up to 14 that we
Jesus.
have now. Some of my hot sauces are seasonal, so I only do them they're Florida fruit-based sauces, right? We got one called Macho Gringo, which is a pineapple jalapeno. We've got one called King Howley, which is our Hawaiian style.
All right.
We've got Old Tropic Florida style, and then we've got the Old Punch. All 4 of those, I use only Florida fruit in them. So I only make them when those fruit are in season in Florida. So they'll be made between June, spring, late spring, in end of September every year, and then after September, I won't make them again. So
That's
those are
cool.
seasonal.
So
They
they're
only
limited.
yeah, limited. Yeah, so they're limited. So right now, those are huge, and those I don't even sell. I typically only sell them at farmers markets and online.
Okay, I want to ask you some business questions, Troy, because in your story is great and it's the grind and it's pretty impressive, and it's cool that your dad's recipe you turned into a business, which is part of the story, which is cool.
Yep.
And so first, how long can the hot sauce, like, what's the shelf life on that kind of thing? Because obviously with better ingredients, like, I imagine that's part of it, right? It's like,
You're
yes.
not allowed to say better ingredients. You know what comes after that.
we just steal everything.
Yeah, so with almost all of our hot sauces, so we preserve our sauces naturally with apple cider vinegar and lemon juice.
Okay.
The goal is to get the pH high enough to where you cannot get bacterial growth, which is what's going to cause a sauce to go bad. So our sauces don't have to be refrigerated because of the apple cider vinegar. Also, apple cider vinegar, you might know, has probiotic health benefits. Most hot sauces are made with white vinegar because it's cheap. It's not a health food. It doesn't really even taste that good. I mean, some people like the taste of white vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is way better tasting. It's more expensive.
Far superior taste,
yeah.
which is why
So
my daughter likes
our
it.
sauces, we have to put, the FDA requires we put a 2-year shelf life on the product. Ultimately, it would last longer. I have some that I've made 4 or 5 years ago that every now and then I'll look at it, smell it, taste a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah.
But we have to put the 2-year shelf life. Now, a lot of hot sauces you'll see,
Damn
they
FDA.
put refrigerate after opening and all that. And you got to say, well, why? How come this one you do and this one you don't? It's because they didn't put the right, natural preservatives in it, and it could go bad and make you sick and all that. So if it says on the bottle refrigerate after opening, you may want to do it. Now, what I recommend for my sweet sauces, the 4 that we do have, I recommend putting them in the refrigerator, and it's not because they'll go bad quicker, but because of fruit, when it sits in vinegar for a long period of time, if it's at room temperature, it'll start to taste more vinegary. The best way to put it. So if you keep it in the refrigerator, colder temperature will preserve it longer.
So it's going to taste better if you
It'll
just-
taste better for
yeah.
longer. But
Okay.
ultimately, I don't refrigerate any of my sauces. In fact, it's, my wife hates it, but like our countertop, I've got like 70 at any given time of the sauces that I'm making and playing around with. But I don't refrigerate any of them. I don't put them in the refrigerator.
So, but let's talk about getting your sauces in retail stores, because we talked a little before the show started, and Jesse Wolf has told us that that's the hardest part of being in the food business is even getting some of these
getting some shelf
grocery
space,
stores to
or
get
even even trying to play the game against the bigger guys.
Yep, you have to. Well, the thing is, you got to start small, right? So we started off getting into the mom and pops, the little delis, the little mom and pop restaurants. We've gotten into a bunch of those when we first started, and we didn't even, to be honest, we didn't even try to get into those places. They found us, right? They'd come in, try our product at a farmer's market, like, oh man, this is really good. I own a little boutique shop. I own a little restaurant, and then we got in that way. It really wasn't until the last year or so that we really started pushing marketing into more places. And right now we're currently in over 50 different restaurants and retail around Central Florida alone. We're in 12 Ace Hardware stores, throughout Central Florida.
Yeah, like all the tools, right? I think you're in.
We're in
those.
most of the tools. I think there's
Yeah.
1 or 2 that we're not in. We also do almost every place we are is going to be an independently owned. We're not in any kind of chain restaurants yet, right?
I didn't think I didn't think this would register as highly for me, but it does, and I think it would for you too. When I went to Hideaway Bar to look at when you sit down and you're drinking your beer and you go to get your food, when you reach over and you get your hot sauce and you pull it up and it's local hot sauce, it does make it better.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel more like a real.
It's not some generic giant.
And one of the things we did was to help try and get the product out there. When we'd have a restaurant take our product on. And everybody is used to what they're used to, right? It's either Tabasco or Cholula. Those 2 hot sauces are 98% of the hot sauces in a restaurant that you're going to see, Tabasco or Cholula or both, right? So what we said is, look, don't get rid of the sauces you already have. If you don't put the sauces on the table and somebody asks for hot sauce, don't say, oh, we have Tabasco, Cholula, or Mad Hombre, because they don't know what Mad Hombre is. Say we have Tabasco, Cholula, or a local hot sauce. And 9 out of 10 people will want to try something that's local because they want to support local. And any place that's done that, our hot sauce has been fully successful. One of the problems we've had, and it's kind of I guess you'd say a bad problem to have or a good problem to have, is that our hot sauce gets stolen out of restaurants a lot. People scan the
see that.
QR, they look it up, like, oh, that's an expensive hot sauce, and they steal it. And we've actually had restaurants and places say, hey, look, we love the hot sauce. Everybody loves it, but they're stealing it, and we just can't afford to keep it, buy that when it's twice as much as what we pay for,
It's tasty, too, so it kind of goes, I'll say. Once you get moving on it and you like it, you might be eating a lot of it. It's very tasty.
I was just thinking that Mr. Cholula, at one point in time, it was like, make the top a wooden ball with the.
Yeah, but you know what makes me mad about that? Do you know what makes me very mad about that?
Everybody must have been like, no, he's crazy. This old man's crazy.
He's even crazier now, though, because it's not a wooden ball. It's a wooden ball hollowed out that they stick a plastic sleeve inside.
yeah, because of the wood is.
They're like, wood's too brittle. Yeah, you can't do that. So glue the plastic inside the wooden ball. I hate that.
So what is the, I guess, day-to-day grind of a hot sauce company owner?
Our hardest part.
Like, so gosh, getting your product in stores, but sometimes if it's too good, which is like, all right, some restaurants are like, hey, people are stealing it because it's too good.
Well, would you be considered craft?
Yeah, we're considered a craft company, and one of the other things that we do too is we'll give a lot of free samples out too. Like we'll go into a restaurant and say, hey, look, we know you got this product. We know you don't want to, margins are thin in restaurants. Like we've had, since we've started, at least 6 or 7 restaurants that took our hot sauce on and went out of business in like the past 4 years. It's just, restaurant industry is really hard.
Red Dog Pub, Jeff House bar.
So
yeah, it's insane.
So we'll always give, hey, look, we'll give you like 6 bottles, try it out, do this, tell the people like, hey, it's a local hot sauce. And 9 out of 10 times they come back, right? So it's just a matter of me going to these places and talking, as the owner, it's finding who the shot caller is, right? Because a lot of times you can't even get that person. You go in, and what I like to do is I do it organically. I don't just come in and say, let me tell you about my hot sauce. I'll sit down at the bar in the restaurant, I'll order an appetizer or whatever, and I'll start chatting it up with the bartender. And then I'll pull I order some food, I'll put my hot sauce out on the table. Naturally, it sparks a conversation. What is that? Oh, I own a hot sauce company. And normally, they'll basically say, hey, you should get your hot sauce in here. Or can I try it? Oh, that's really good. Man, I wish we had something like that here. And then I can say, well, who's the shot caller here? Is he here? Oh, yeah, that's so-and-so. Can you bring him to my table? And that's how I like to do it. I never just walk in and say, hey, who does sales or who's the manager? Because they won't talk to you.
I don't think we're as confident
off.
as Troy.
So,
you see what I cannot envision us walking into anything for anything and being as confident as like, who's the shot? Even the phrase, who's the shot caller here? I'd be like, where's your dad here?
I like to scream, who runs this coffin?
Who's getting married in this dump?
Yeah. Anytime you ask someone, can you point me towards the person making the business decisions? And then you see them hiding.
You see the office door shut. No, they're busy.
Yeah, they hear you're like, oh God, not again, because the solicitor's here again. Although you just made me think of something that if you tried bribery. Because
what do you mean?
I think I'm gonna announce this right now.
Okay.
If anybody convinces, I imagine the owners of companies aren't listening to us.
Okay.
But the employees, if you're listening,
is our show too dumb for owners?
If you convince your boss to advertise with us, I'll give you 10% a month of what he's spending with us.
Oh, I like that.
He said, I'll pay you. Now, that'll all be under the table. I'll just Venmo you, and then I'll hide it in the account.
It's a loose Venmo.
Anyway, but then I'll pay you what your boss is paying. Then you'll get it over on your boss. You'll pay your favorite podcast. Now you got to convince your boss.
We don't even need to be your favorite. I'll put that. I'll you don't even feel sorry for it.
If you like money, 10% goes back to you. All
Troy,
right.
what is the most difficult part? Is it keeping? What if you run out of peppers? Have you ever run out of peppers?
No, we've never had that problem.
That's not a thing?
Florida, we got plenty, and then if we can't source it from Florida, Louisiana does a lot. If you remember the issue that happened with the sriracha about a year and a half ago, because they get all their peppers from one location in Mexico, they had a drought there. All the pepper went out. Sriracha had to source from some other weird area. They didn't taste the same. In fact, sriracha was actually brown. It wasn't red.
Yeah, it changed the color.
And it ruined the brand. Like, the brand still hasn't recovered from it.
I don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, like, my daughter made this switch. She's so into hot sauce. And we don't even eat, is it Hoi Fong?
Hoi Fong.
Yeah, they make that sriracha. We don't use that. Now we use Flying Goose brand.
Yes.
Because Flying Goose brand is that bright red sriracha pepper, and it's almost sweeter.
And we try not to use really crazy, exotic, weird peppers and stuff. Like, if I'm doing a small batch, that's fine. But I try to stick to the basics, peppers, because we'll always be able to get those. Your regular habaneros, your jalapenos, those kind of
Mangoes.
peppers. Yeah, we stick to peppers that are readily available for that exact reason, because you don't want to have it come down where you have some business that says, hey, I want to order, a pallet of your sauces, like, ooh, we're out of peppers, like, and then they're just going to move on to the next hot sauce company because they're not going to wait.
Troy, I also, from talking to like Jesse, there is a problem with scaling because, like, say you do hit the mother load and like Walmart accepts to put your hot sauce in all the grocery stores across the country, or the Publix or another huge chain account, right? Which is obviously good for any business. But now they're like, oh, you need to produce 10,000 bottles a week or whatever.
Yep.
So then you up your production to 10,000. So now you have to pay a separate company to formulate.
Yeah, you got to make sure it tastes the same, too.
Huge batches. And once you get all that, and then now you're producing 10,000 bottles a week, right? So things are going good. You're rich. You're driving a cigarette boat. Mad Hombre money on the side. And then all of a sudden, Walmart's like, we're going in a different direction. No more. And you're like, oh, I'm doing 10,000 bottles a week. Why the hell am I going to get rid of this?
Yeah.
And then that one decision and one client could screw you. Like, do you ever think about like?
It goes much deeper than just that, right? Because if you're in somebody like a Walmart, right, they're going to make you sign a contract that you're going to have to produce. Like if it's like 10,000, cases for this region, you have a time limit. You have to get them there. For every point that they're, day, week, whatever, they're not there, you're being fined, and you're also renting the shelf space. The shelf space is being rent. And in that contract somewhere, it's going to say at the end of this sales period, 2 months, 3 months, whatever that is, if your product hasn't sold, you got to buy it back. And you're not buying it back at what you sold it to them for. You're buying it back at what they sell it for. And that can bankrupt your business. Businesses get bankrupted every day by signing contracts like that. They don't read it. They don't have an attorney look at it. And then they're like, whoa, because I follow all the hot sauces in Whole Foods, Walmart, and one that's here this month is not going to be there in 2 months. And I know the ones that aren't going to be there because I know they're not selling. And so it's short-lived, and you're not going to be rich just by getting a quick deal with a Walmart, right? The key is getting into one region at a time. So hypothetically, if it's a supermarket chain in like South and Central Florida, you want to get into, you can't be like, I could supply all of Florida or all of the Northeast. Say, look, I can comfortably supply from, Key West to, Jacksonville. And that way I can promote. I can go in. I can send my team into the grocery stores, give out samples and stuff like that. If I'm all of a
still
sudden,
got hands on.
yeah,
still
you want to start
in the
small,
area,
and that's a key. And a lot of these places, they want honesty. Like they don't want you to say, like, I could. If they say, can you do this? Say, no. This is what I can do. And
we agree to everything. They're like, can you do this? They're like, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, what do you want? They're like, can you make me rich? I can do anything you want.
Well, all I see is the cigarette boat. You understand?
Yeah.
That's all I
Blinded
want.
by greed.
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
so
you're right, yeah.
but the biggest thing with all of that is when you're creating these products and you're doing that, you have got to, like you said, you cannot do more than you're capable of doing. You have to be able to
Scale
produce
slowly.
it, and then comes in the fact of you're probably going to have to get investors on board and getting loans and all that. So yeah, it's a really huge process that a lot of people don't think about. They think about like, oh yeah, they want your your hot sauce, so you just produce it and get in. And then the biggest problem though and this is the problem for everybody, is you've got to be in to get into a major grocery store. You got to be in with a food distributor, and so food distributor will not take your product unless you have a grocery chain asking for it, and the grocery chain will not take your product if it's not in with a food distributor. So it's like a weird catch-22, right? Like, how do you get in? And I've talked to like reps for food distributors. It's like, yeah, if Walmart or Publix or Whole Foods asked us, then we'd be willing to stock your product, because they're like a middleman. And the reason why you have to be in with the food distributor is everything's computerized nowadays. Like if you look at a Walmart shelf, you'll see the sauces, and then you look at the very top. That's their storage. They don't have a back storage area in Walmart. Everything is on the shelves. And so you have to be able to fit a case and a half of your product on one shelf, like wherever it sits. The other half of the case sits on top. As those SKUs start getting scanned, as people are buying the product, once it gets down to about a half a case, the computer system automatically orders more product from the food distributor, which these runs are being done all day long to supermarkets. Nobody has to physically go check the shelf. Nobody has to do anything with it. It's automatically done. So that's kind of why the food distributor comes in, because they're running, computers are doing this, and more of your product. That's why they assure you never run out. Like you'll never run, usually won't run out in these big grocery stores, Walmart, Publix, Whole Foods, because of the system that's been set up. But that same system is, they're not going to have your hot sauce just sitting there waiting for somebody to.
It's too precious.
Yeah.
The area is far too. It's already been worked out
yeah.
years and years and years and years and years ago. That space was already known. And it's getting. Is it getting more expensive by the minute?
I mean, it seems like a very difficult business to be in, Troy.
Especially
It is,
even
it
at
is.
your size. I've seen smaller
Yeah,
and I've seen larger, but you're in a weird space, Weird Job Wednesday, where you're kind of you're
Well, ultimately,
decent
and
size.
ultimately, and this is like what
You're pretty big.
At a certain point, we're going to have to be bought in with an investor with teeth that has connections, that already has products in, right? And I'll give you the example, like when we were talking about Cholula earlier. Cholula, Mexican hot sauce company, has been around for a long period of time. Cholula didn't really break big in the United States until Jose Cuervo started importing it over. So Jose Cuervo is part owner of Cholula. The other 60 to 70% of Cholula is owned by McCormick Spice Corporation. McCormick buys into Cholula. They get Cholula into everything, restaurants and grocery stores. Frank's Red Hot, same thing. Frank's Red Hot's, I think, so close to 100 years old, the company is. But they're either partly or almost solely owned now by McCormick as well. When McCormick bought them, I think was 2013, they launched that whole ad campaign of like, we put this shit
blank
on everything.
Yeah.
And so that is when Frank's Red Hot really blew up, that whole marketing thing of that. And that got them. Frank's is, I think, the number one consumer-based purchased hot sauce right now. Cholula is the number one for restaurants. Tabasco's been pushed completely out of it. Tabasco's been number one for years. They're second and third in consumer and
Too
restaurant
spicy.
sales
What's
now.
the problem with Tabasco? Too vinegary?
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, it's just the other companies have outmarketed them, and I think it's just everybody's had Tabasco, right? Like
I like Tabasco.
You either like it or you don't.
like
I
an
like
old
it.
brand.
It hurts,
almost.
but they
It'll
are
get you.
They are the number one selling hot sauce in the world. Like Tabasco still, even though they don't have the United States market anymore, that they're second and third, they're still the number one selling hot sauce in the world.
I
So-
like talking hot sauce.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fun.
very interesting. So, Troy, how many bottles do you produce? Like, let's say a
We
year?
do a batch. So typically, so each one of our sauces, when we do a kettle could produce anywhere between 1,800 and 2,500 bottles at a time.
Okay.
And we do those sauces 2 to 3 times a year. In factor in, we are doing about 11 sauces like that way throughout the year. We're about every 2 months we're just running batches of sauces. We're continuously burning them. And then the smaller ones, like the fruit-based ones, we're doing those in a commercial kitchen. We're not doing nowhere near like that. We're maybe making 400 or 500 bottles of each sauce a year.
And this is your full-time job?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So,
That's killer.
And how rare is that? Like, we always say that me and Daniel have being local podcasters or local small media, it is very rare. Like, as small as we are, we know a lot of other podcasters that are making money, obviously, you out there, but they're way bigger with a way bigger audience. But we're so small that we become rare to be able to stay in business,
to still succeed,
and support ourselves in this small of a media company. So is that the same way with small
Yeah, I
hot
mean,
sauce?
well, the thing is, my wife has a really good job too. Like she's like part-time with the business. And so that allows me to, like, I don't take a paycheck. Like everything that, the business makes goes back into the business, right? To make it bigger, to
Who
do more.
needs a paycheck? You get to hang with a hot squad. I don't need a pay. I
Well,
wouldn't need
that's
to be
where we
paid
differ,
here.
Troy. I need a paycheck.
I don't need a
From the
paycheck.
start of this business, we got paychecks. Because the first thing I was like, we need paychecks. That's first
He
and
is
foremost.
paycheck. He is the paycheck man.
And then after our paychecks, I'll figure the rest out. But we need that first. Anyway, sorry. We're a little bit different, Troy.
Yeah.
But you are,
We're a little
I do want to
strange.
live your life. You got a better life.
So
man.
where can people buy your hot sauce? Because we're going to run out of time here.
Yeah.
But I want our listeners to be able to
So
scoop
pretty
some
much,
up.
pretty much every weekend you can find us at the Winter Garden Farmers Market. That's somewhere we always are, and that's a Saturday. And then on Sunday we're at Lake Eola Farmers Market.
Nice.
Our website is madhombre.com. If you go to our website and click on Where Are We, It'll list all the retail spots throughout Central Florida where you can find our sauces, from the Ace Hardware to the mom and pops. I also list all the restaurants where you can try our sauce. So there's a full list of all the places that actually put our hot sauce on the table, carry them. We also have an online store, which you can either access through madhombre.com or our Instagram shop. You can go through that way as well. And like I said, we also have really cool apparel, trucker caps, muscle hoodies.
Nice.
Booty shorts for the girls, high waist workout shorts, workout leggings. I think at one point we've had probably kind of anything you could think that a girl would want. We've had bodysuits and bathing suits. Like now we typically try to stick with just the basics.
My wife
that makes
now
sense.
started wearing those bras that is just an underwire, but there's no bra.
There's just a wire.
It's just a wire, and then they're straight out. And I'm like, what's the purpose of
The
that?
thing is with the apparel, we
That's not true, I mean.
probably give out more of it than we actually sell, at least on the girls.
But you're having a good time,
Yeah,
right? Like
because
that.
the thing is too, that's kind of how we market our product. If I have a gym membership to every gym in Central Florida, pretty much every gym chain, and that's how I do my marketing. If I go in the gym, I'm working out, I'm wearing my apparel. If I see a hot girl working out, and what I look for is she's not only is she hot, she's fit.
Your ass would look great in some hombres. Oh yeah.
She's wearing nice apparel, and here's the key: she's got that little phone set up on a tripod, filming her workouts. So there, I know she's actually promoting herself on social media, and that's who I want to work for me. So I'll literally just walk by her with my gym bag, reach in, I'll say hi. I wait till she's not working out, like she's resting. I'll say, here, free apparel from Mad Hombre. If you like it, follow us on Instagram. The QR
You
is on
couldn't
the
do
tag.
this. You're too awkward. You couldn't do
But
this.
the key
That's-
is,
I like
so,
to stand.
can't-
I like to stand right in front of the girls that are doing the thigh machine back and forth, and then I'm
Excuse me.
and then I'm
Excuse
on
me.
my phone.
My name is
Like,
Hombre.
Are you filming?
yeah,
Yeah, he
so-
would just be filming and be like, "My name's Hombre. Here's some shorts."
So I don't look. I hand it to him. I say, if you like it, follow us on Instagram, and I walk away. I'm not standing there. I'm not engaging him in conversation.
Tom
But
would
the
walk
funny thing
over and
is,
be like,
I'll
"Free
walk.
shorts. I have a boner."
I'll walk away and I'll see. The first thing they do is they scan that QR to look me up, to see, and then they'll see we got a calendar and we do all this stuff. And at some point, usually they'll come back
They look
over
up
and
Tom in Seminole County. Seminole County. It's a mugshot.
The shovel.
so that's typically the way we get at least half of our employees now is just through me contacting them in gyms.
Because
me
he's got
giving out free
balls and he's
apparel.
hustling. I don't think
I
we
know.
can do this. We don't need to do it either. I'm walking around. We have a podcast business. I'm walking around a gym.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Write this down. Start a Bad Hombre podcast. We get some listeners. Get the American flag. All right, Troy. Thank you so much.
so much
man.
for being here, man.
Oh man,
we really
it was a
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
man. Pleasure.
Appreciate it. And love to your staff and the wife and everybody. Give them some love from us.
Oh, will
and,
do,
and
will do.
thank them for he gave us some gift bags, which again, these similarities between you and Troy are off the
Well, he's
chart.
more ripped than I am.
He's
He's
a
totally-
gift bag guy. You like gift bags.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
gift bag he brought way better than your
yeah.
crappy old gift
Oh, yeah.
bag.
The doctor didn't take his Adderall. All right. Badhombre.com. We'll see you tomorrow.